How's it going?
This may be evidence of alien visitation here?
Yeah, so in 1967, this horse was found dead with no meat on her skull. And you can look it up online. It's quite the story. And so nobody's sure exactly what happened, but there was radioactive goo around her and all the meat missing from her head. And the coyotes wouldn't touch the rest of the meat on the body. So it was kind of a strange event back in 1967. So it made worldwide news and has gotten a lot of publicity since. And she's lived in a few different places before coming here, but she finally is here where she should be with Judy at the UFO Watchtower.
Hi.
And Snippy's even on the shirt, right?
Yeah,
there.
Snippy glows in the dark on the shirt. Yeah, there was no meat, no hide, no nothing, just bone when they found her, from the tip of the nose to the shoulder. When they opened the body cavity, there were no organs in the body cavity.
All the organs were removed.
And they cut into the skull up here to get the brain.
Oh, wait a minute. So there is a spot on the skull here.
Yeah.
So there is some skeletal evidence still that something happened to this horse.
Yeah, there was no brain.
There was no brain.
No brain.
The brain was missing. Well, was this with a vet cut in, or was this
Yes,
where
the vet did it.
so there was no like visible sign of it, the brain was just missing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they cut like that and then just popped that
But
loose.
the skull was intact when the body was found.
Yes.
It's just the brain was missing. So
Yeah.
somehow they removed the brain without,
Or evaporated it.
or evaporated.
I mean, there was burn marks, scorch marks on the ground all around the skull.
Yeah.
So it could have just disintegrated, evaporated.
And I heard there was like some green goo.
It was on one of the bushes, and I guess when you touched it, it burned the hands.
And
Burned
somebody
the
tested it and said it was radioactive.
The entire area around her was radioactive.
Wow.
She's quite the legend.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to load this legend up on this trailer. So this skeleton hasn't been on display in a really long time.
Oh no, it was in storage for what, probably 20 years before you got a hold of her?
So no one's seen this in like 20 years.
No, she
They
was
might have-
hidden out. They hid her out.
They might have been in storage buildings and stuff, and people would go see it over there.
Yeah, once in a while somebody knew somebody would
would
see
go
it, but
see
it's never been out to the public.
It's been about 20 years, I think. Anyway, I have tried for the last 8 years to get this skeleton to put it on display, and I couldn't work out an arrangement. With the guy who had it, and so his wife called me last fall, and come to find out he had passed away. And she said, "You still want that horse?" And I said, "Yes." Now, they had her listed on eBay and wanted $50,000 for her.
$50,000.
Yeah, and nobody would give them.
But somebody,
For a part of UFO history here?
It is.
Possible
It
UFO.
is.
It could have been something else. Who knows what it was?
They don't know. They saw UFOs prior to finding the carcass, so I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody's figured it out.
Easy, easy. Go ahead. It's a good thing I got that up there.
Watch that clearance.
so good. All right, it's gonna tilt forward when we get off weight on the front. So, yeah, so look out, little Dave.
Hang on.
Go forward, all of you.
Well, not much.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
Whoa, Snippy. Be careful.
Right.
He hasn't heard that in a while. Well, he hasn't heard that one in a while. Whoa, Snippy. I know that wind is kind of beating Snippy's head around, guys. We might have to hurry.
Yeah.
We don't want Sniffy's head blowing off like a tumbleweed here. It's windy out here. Bodie's helping. Bodie, say hi. Hi. That's the side of Bodie's head. That's the side of Bodie's head since he's in the
Look
wind.
at the camera, Bodie. The other camera. Charles is filming too.
And we're trying to keep Sniffy here steady in the San Luis wind here that tends to blow in around this time of day. Storm's probably going to come in eventually here too, out the mountains.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like we might get some rain later. That'd be nice. Very welcome. Always welcome rain in the desert, right? Woo, Snippy. It's exciting.
Yeah, and if you want to come see Snippy, Snippy will be out at the UFO Watchtower out here in Hooper.
And if you want to read about Snippy's story, go to the UFO Watchtower website. I think they've got it on there. We should post that too.
Yeah, you can Google it. You can Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
This horse
Denver
thing is
Archives.
it's not hard to find.
It's very strange when you see the pictures of how they found her out in the desert with all the meat intact on her body and none on her head, and like just a fine line cut, cauterized, all the meat just gone, scorched off the head, and the final footprints from the horse were 100 feet away from where her body was found. And Stan and Judy were nice enough to let me restore the bones because I like re-articulating skeletons. They'd kind of fallen in disrepair. Some of them were very brittle and I had to work really hard to restore it without breaking them. So, and then they actually built a separate building at the UFO Watchtower just for Snippy. So that's where we're moving her now.
We're at the Watchtower here right now, and we're actually backing up, backing Snippy in to Snippy's future home here.
I know you normally do live animals, Wild Charles. Watch out, she almost kicked you. Whoa! But this is just quite an interesting story.
Stay together, Snippy. This will be your
Hey,
last
almost there,
last move.
Almost there, Snippy. This is your forever home.
And this is it.
Dave, hold the head.
Just a little.
Actually, while she's going over
She's
that
gonna go
list.
through.
Yes.
Lift it, Andrew.
I didn't
She'll
know
fit.
what it
Yeah, she'll fit.
Cool.
Oh, I can say that.
Right about there.
Snippy's a horse. There you go. There you
Got
go.
it.
There's Snippy's new home. And
So
this is super cool. This whole room is super cool. Look at this.
we need a picture to send to Valley Courier. And maybe there's one here. Okay, here's our.
All right, guys. Now that Snippy is all up in his new spot over here, here's the rest of the Watchtower. You can check it out. All kinds of cool stuff here. Got alien gear. Look at that. Art, t-shirts, lots of aliens, alien cups. Got a whole book of UFO and alien sightings here, guys, that you can come flip through and read and explore.
If you look at the original photos, the scorched marks on the ground around Snippy indicate that it was on the ground when it got scorched. So it had been laying down and hit by lightning, and that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
But there's no way lightning took all the flesh off the bones like that.
No, and the bones were pink. Which was kind of strange, yeah.
That would be strange. Now, there's a few eyewitnesses still alive that saw it
Uh-huh.
firsthand, right? One of them was talking to me on Facebook there, and they're supposed to come visit.
I
So-
had a young man come visit, and he was there when they opened the body cavity, and he said there was nothing in the body cavity.
No organs, no nothing.
Nothing.
No
There was
visible
another
cuts.
guy that said that he had a pig that he had butchered, and he put the head of the pig on an ant pile, and the ants devoured everything on the head except for the brain, and they wouldn't touch the brain.
Well, what kind of ants do you got out here that we got to be worried about, man? If the ants are this bad.
They are, red ants.
Yep.
They're that
They'll
long when they
strip the
come
bones.
out of their wing source.
Okay, now besides aliens, what other things could this? Besides ants, we've got aliens, we've got lightning.
And Sasquatch.
The military. Sasquatch? What? Wait a minute. What is
Yeah. Well, he's been seeing both sides of the
He's
valley
talking
and
about
mountains.
possible explanations for Snippy's demise, though.
No, I don't think
wasn't involved
Sasquatch had anything to do
Bigfoot was
with
not
it.
involved
Sasquatch is a peaceful soul.
Okay, he wasn't involved in Snippy's. He wasn't like chewing on Snippy's neck.
It could be satanic rituals, but they couldn't find any footprints in the area. So and they would have had to move it 100 feet from where her last hoof prints were 100 feet away. And that's a lot, even for a lot,
They found the indentations
no tire tracks.
in the soil, the three
Right.
indentations in the soil.
Yeah. It is within the realm of possibility that the military could have pulled it off if they wanted to.
Like they were doing a test of something.
Right, like they
Let's
sent
see,
a
try
helicopter
new weapon
with a
on a
1,000-foot thing, and they grabbed the horse and they cut the meat off and did all this stuff and put some radioactive.
Oh, because you're actually thinking that maybe the horse got lifted in air and moved because there's no tracks.
Right.
Like
So I suppose it's possible the military could have pulled that off.
the aliens
They
were
could have.
beaming
But
them up.
why? Why would they do that?
Well, and it's the same with the cattle mutilations, you know?
There's a picture up there about the cattle mutilation.
But anyway,
Yeah.
they've estimated 10 to 15,000 mutilations in this valley in northern New Mexico since the 60s. It was in the 60s that the military came out with a fanny pack that had laser on it. That was to treat the wounded in the field. I had a woman call me here about 4 years ago, and she said, I just want you to know that I saw a military aircraft drop a mutilated cow. And I said, thank you very much, because that's what I was thinking, is the military was doing this. Now, what they were checking for, who knows? They said that at Rocky Flats, they would bring the plutonium waste down here and dump it because nobody lived in the valley. And
Nobody that mattered anyway.
right, but you know, you have to look at what parts of an animal would hold the radiation. The pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, and the brain and the tongue. So those were the things that were taken. So were they checking to see if there was still radiation in the ground?
So you think maybe Skippy was actually a military thing?
Well,
not a
I
UFO?
don't know if she was or not. You know, there's too many other things going on with her, other than the military checking for radiation.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. If you want to go check out Snippy, Snippy's right in here. Come visit UFO Watchtower.